Designer, you sound good music.
What are you doing?
I'm just recording that piece of shit.
Why are you recording me commentating, you piece of shit?
Living comedy.
No, now I have to put the whole act on.
You don't need to.
Because now the stage is here.
Yeah, be yourself.
Hi,
this is why I didn't really want to have this.
Yeah, this is why. You don't have to raise your tempo of your voice to prove a point, but you can always still keep your own tempo, you know?
It's my tempo.
I told my mother this for years, but she never listened.
While we dancing on these wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent humans, and I hope that we meet equal. While we dancing on these wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent humans, and I hope that we meet equal.
I love how we try to ignore our problems. Time's not on our side, so why the fuck you speaking jargon? Am I jogging your memory, or you just high on ecstasy? Don't listen to this melody. I feel like the relics like L&D, but that's not relevant. Stop playing with too many elements. Man, that's the size of your melon head when you're felling it. Well done, that's a talent, kid. Please help me find my decency. I lost it along the way, or maybe I didn't have a kid. Suppose I gotta go back to this drawing board and look at my options. Like a locksmith in production, waiting for when lunches. Got a hunch, kid, that we're gonna rule this world in money. Yeah, I see greed dripping from your eyes is stunning, yeah. Well, don't you motivate the kids and kick the dirt out? Instead you lead the herd that doesn't give a shit until we'll burn out. Turns out this is how my story goes and ends. In the backseat with my friends, might have swerve out.
While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent movements, and I hope that we meet equal. While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent movements, and I hope that we meet equal. We're checking sketchy cause we getting it. It's last rounds at the bar, looking empty for the dirty kids. I'm happy that we flipped the kick because we do it so well. We got each other, my brother, and you know I mean it. It's kinda crazy if you ask, more like a stroke of genius. From being arrested in town and almost losing mothers, and the chick from Botswana almost destroyed our lives. Good vibes, don't mind, we survived both of those times. We're checking sketchy cause we getting it. It's last rounds at the bar, looking empty for the dirty kids. I'm happy that we flipped the kick because we do it so well. We got each other, my brother, and you know I mean it. We're checking sketchy cause we getting it. It's last rounds at the bar, looking empty for the dirty kids. I'm happy that we flipped the kick because we do it so well. We got each other, my brother, and you know I mean it. While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent movements, and I hope that we meet equal. While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent movements, and I hope that we meet equal. While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent humans, and I hope that we be equal. While we dancing on those wrong roads, slipping me and the strangers that we don't know. This is decent human beings, and I hope that we be equal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your boy Lacho, sponsored by Chaotech, coming to you live. And this is the VSGaming second division matchup, EPOCH Academy versus Kai Gaming. And joining me tonight is none other than Holob. Holob, how are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just bugging around with my settings there. I'm good. And yourself, Ladre. How are you doing? I'm doing fine.
Always good, always good.
Thanks,
always
man.
good.
I'm doing fine.
What are your feelings about this game tonight?
Dyer's turn to pick. Radiant's turn to pick.
It seems that I've lost all up there for a second, but let's get into the picks and bans very quickly. On the side of EPOCH Academy, they've taken out the Wraith King, the Death Prophet, and the Axe. On the opposite end, they've taken out the Disruptor, Undying, and the Night Stalker. First pickup, though, is the Beastmaster, very, very good at initiating. Also is able to provide quite a lot of vision for the team, and especially with that ball that's able to slow the enemies as well. So Beastmaster, very good pickup, and can't wait to see what the rest of the lineup is going to bring. Hello, are you still there?
On TeamSpeak. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you. Do you want to jump back onto TS, or do you want to chat in game?
No. I just had to actually mute my TS quickly because it was double recording as I was hearing you on TS and in game. So I just had to fix that quickly. yes. First pickup on the side of Kai Gaming is indeed a Beastmaster, probably going on the off lane there. I don't see that hero going anywhere else, although I do know it's also quite a common pickup for EPOCH Academy, so it might have been a little bit of a shocker for them. But then I see also EPOCH's first pickup is going to be a Sand King and a Warlock. So Sand King, one of their more go-to heroes. Warlock, a bit of a new one, I would say.
Yeah, the Sand King Warlock combination does work very, very well. Some items that I have noticed, especially on the Sand King, is that Aether Lens and the Agnum Scepter. I mean, the range that he gets with those two items alone is absolutely insane. I mean, he doesn't really need a Blink Dagger, but I'm assuming that EPOCH is going to go for the Blink.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, as a pos 4 Sand King, if you're going to be rotating around, you're not going to get a lot of farm unless you're securing kills in your lanes and, you know, getting off a very nice early start. So I'm guessing your Aether Lens and Agnum Scepter is going to be up a little bit later on in the game. Not really an early game pickup. Blink is going to be a little bit better for early game initiation, you know, just getting your team into the right position and then following through from there.
Most definitely. I do like the Wind Ranger pickup though from Kai Gaming. That's definitely to try and counter the Sand King, or even maybe try and take out the Warlock, especially with that upheaval.
Yes, the upheaval is also a great spell. It's a very underrated spell at the moment. Although if you have a look at the Wind Ranger there, it's not going to affect the Wind Ranger too much. But the major thing, the major pickup for Warlock these days is definitely the link that comes out from him. A lot of people do underestimate that spell, as the damage just splits up between your team, and if it hits right, it hits all 5 heroes. You are gonna be in for a very bad time.
Most definitely. I do see that EPOCH Academy has banned out the Dazzle. Not entirely sure why. I mean, they have banned out the Axe already. So yeah, it's very difficult to say why the Dazzle's been banned out, but the Gyro and the Dark Seer also banned out from the side of Kai Gaming.
No, definitely. I see that they have banned the Axe and the Dazzle. Maybe it's from past experiences playing against Kai Gaming, because I do know that they are quite good scrimming partners. So it might just be something from the past that maybe gave them a bit of a scare there. So taking out the 2 heroes. And then I do believe, to be honest with you, Dazzle is still quite a good support at the moment. He's very underrated. Poison Touch being absolutely massive, and the heal bombs, especially when you have something like a Sand King and a Warlock, the amount of you sustain and so forth. But if you have a look at it on the side of on Kai Gaming with the Beastmaster and the Wind Ranger, a shackle shot straight into a poison touch into a nice little heal bomb is going to be quite devastating. It's nice setup and a nice bit of a nuke as well.
Definitely, it does do a hell of a lot of magic damage there, and Warlock is going to have to be on his feet this game. We're going to have the healing up. Oh, but one of my favorite heroes, the Centaur Warrunner, and that's going to couple exceptionally well, especially with the Golem of the Warlock. This is going to be a very, very interesting game.
Oh, definitely. I've seen EPOCH is absolutely suiting up for a bunch of stuns here. I mean, a little Sand King there into a Centaur Warrunner stun. It's just a lot of setup as well. I mean, if the Centaur Warrunner gets an early blink, it means he can rotate throughout the map. He can do so much more for the team, as well as the amount of lockdown that they currently have. I mean, the Warlock's ulti is only going to come out at level 6. He is currently POS 5, I do believe that they picked him up for, so he's not going to have an early level 6. But the Centaur being there as well, it's a lot of lockdown, it's a lot of stun. If they can actually time it correctly, the stun lock will be absolutely amazing. And then also the Centaur's the Centaur Warrunner's ulti, just to get out of any problems, or even to initiate, depending on how they're going to be playing it in the game.
Yeah, I mean, not just that. I mean, a Centaur Warrunner is definitely going to pick up a Blade Mail, yeah? And it's going to make things very, very difficult, especially for the Wind Ranger's ultimate. And she's going to have to be very, very careful with her timing on that one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've seen a lot of the fail videos coming out of a Windrunner deciding she's going to be ulting a Centaur Warrunner that has a few nice strength items up, and you absolutely just kill yourself, because there's no way that you can actually cancel the ulti without actually running out of range of using your ulti. So you're going to be attacking and you're going to be killing yourself. It is a bit of a problem. So they need to remember not to try and do that as well.
Also the Jakiro twin-headed dragon being picked up by the side of Kai Gaming. He offers a lot of disable and also armor reduction, which I feel they picked specifically for the Centaur.
Well, to be honest with you, the Jakiro coming out is quite a nice pick as well, because they do have a Beastmaster. So it seems like they're solidifying down their pushing lineup at the moment. I mean, Beastmaster giving you the nice little aura for attack speed and so forth. And then you have the Jakiro with a Flame Breath. Well, his third ability that just brings down Star's HP slowly but surely. And then also, like you said, it is a bit of disable with the Ice Path, as well as the Dual Breath, slowing them nicely down and doing some dot damage as well.
Oh, definitely. Cancel Lancer now actually being picked up by the side of EPOCH Gaming, which is going to provide a hell of a lot of split push. So I'm assuming that Phantom Lancer would possibly spend about 80% of the time just farming the lane, pushing it out. I mean, with Centaur, Warrunner, Warlock and Sand King, they are pretty much self-sufficient, and they should be able to keep the rest of the teams busy.
No, indeed, I do agree with you on that one. But again, it all depends on the nice startup from the Centaur, if he's going to have a nice lane or not. Seeing a Bloodseeker being picked up, it is quite something different there. I mean, a Bloodseeker does do a lot of damage. You can also Blood Rage his allies to also give them more damage. But also another thing to remember is that Blood Rage does allow you to take extra damage as well. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword picking up a Bloodseeker. And it's not as common these days as you might think. But it would be quite interesting to see what's going to be happening there. I mean, it's probably one of the few ultis that Phantom Lancer's Doppelganger can't actually purge.
Yeah, it's going to make things very, very difficult for the Phantom Lancer. Now also I see that the Obsidian Destroyer and the Razor has been banned out from each respective team. I do like the OD ban out. Pretty good, I believe.
I do agree with you on that, because if you have a look on the side of EPOCH, they don't really have a lot of intel heroes. I mean, the only intel hero currently is the Warlock, and he's going to be playing POS 5, so it's not like he's going to be having a lot of items, a lot of intel to actually fight against the Odie's ultimate. Now, if you look at it that way, the Odie's hammer that usually drops is well known for Mushi's hammer. It'll destroy all of them, and Phantom Lancer doesn't always do too well against an Odie early on, especially if the Odie can actually pick up or right-click the right PL, because it's just going to destroy the PL, destroy his illusions as well. It's a very good ban from their side as well. Now, the Razor ban from the side of Kai Gaming, also Razor, quite a strong hero, quite a tanky hero. Static Link always being a problem, and also one of the few spells that actually stays on the Phantom Lancer when he does Doppelganger, unless it's just outside of the Link's maximum range. So obviously a very, very good ban from them on that as well.
Most definitely. The Faceless Void now actually being picked up by the side of Car Gaming, which is going to allow the Bloodseeker as well as the Beastmaster to get into position. And you can also take it the other way around. Those two can set up a perfect Chronosphere there for the Faceless Void, which will allow Jakiro to get the Macropire in there and Wind Ranger just to try and do as much damage as possible.
Again, I do agree with you on that. Like, the Wombo combo is there a bit, but the Faceless Void in this entire scenario here itself is, if you have a look at it, the Bloodseeker. Like, I'm not 100% sure where they're going to be playing this Bloodseeker now, because the Beastmaster is going to go offlane, the Windrunner is going to go mid, Jakiro is going to be pos 4 or 5, Bloodseeker pos 4-5. Probably just have him there for the huge AoE silence and the ulti that it can drop every once now and then, and the Faceless Void as a carry. Now, the only problem though is if you do Rupture and you use a Chrono, quite counterproductive, because you can't run when you Rupture, or you can run, but you're going to be taking pure damage. Now, the problem with the Faceless Void ulti is as soon as it pops up, you can't run whatsoever. So you're going to be standing still. You know you're going to be hitting a silence, definitely, but the damage nullification, because you are standing still inside the Chrono, is going to do absolutely nothing. So that is the one problem. Second problem is Jakiro is absolutely a very good pickup with a Void as well. Like you said, the Macropire into a Chrono is going to be amazing, as well as the Dual Breath. But now, the other problem is the Faceless Void needs to make sure that he doesn't hit any of his crucial allies in a Chrono, because if that happens, your entire Wombo combo goes out the window.
Most definitely. It's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. I do like the heroes that has been picked up, but which team's pick do you like the most? Who do you feel is going to take game number 1?
To be honest with you, if I have a look at, I do like the side of EPOCH. They do have a nice little Storm Spirit there. The Storm Spirit, the only thing that can really catch him out is going to be a Faceless Void ulti, unless he's going to be standing next to a bunch of trees with a Wind Ranger there, and unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen too often. Now, the amount of lockdown coming from Kai Gaming side is just lacking a bit in that area. So if the Storm gets a good start off in the middle of the game, or he gets a nice early start, he's going to be snowballing throughout the game, and it's going to be unable to be stopped, to be honest with you. The side of Kai Gaming, I do like their lineup as well, but like I said, a little bit of counterproductive with the Faceless Void and the Bloodseeker being probably either in the same lane or actually in the same team, because they basically, the one nullifies the other one. So that's the only thing that I don't like from Kai Gaming.
Definitely. I do feel personally that the side of EPOCH, have a look here, they've got, I do like the Centaur Warrunner pick up the most. So I'm actually going to go with EPOCH on this one.
Because he's your favorite hero. I can understand that completely. Like, I completely root for a team that picks up a DK at any time. Doesn't matter if it's one of my preferred teams or not. DK is just my hero, and I'd like to see him win as well. So we do see that there is a bit of a pause going on here. Somebody has some very bad lag. So are you going to do the introduction for one of the teams, and I'll do the other one quickly?
That would be awesome. I'll go with the EPOCH side. On the Warlock, that is going to be played by Tsar tonight. On the Sand King, is going to be played by Fluffy Smurf. I apologize for that one. Storm Spirit is going to be played by same but different. Then we've got the Cancel Lancer, that is going to be played by 13. And then finally, Llama Boy is going to be playing on that Centaur Warrior now.
Wonderful. Now, I just want to help you there quickly with the 13 thing is he needs to make sure that they do actually change their names back to the proper one, because that Phantom Lancer is actually rabbit. He does say that those Chinese symbols or Japanese symbols there do mean rabbit in that language, but I'm not 100% sure. And then also the Storm Spirit is actually Fortune Smoker Baba, but again, they do like to change their nicknames when they do play pubs, so they just have to remember to switch that back. Now, on the side of Kai Gaming, we do have Zero Master on the Beastmaster, who's going to be running offlane. Indecent, who's going to be playing the Void. Now, Wonder, I do believe this is going to be a safe lane carry Void. And then we have Hybridin as the Bloodseeker. Oh, he's going mid. Okay, so they're going to be running a 2-1-2 lane, seems, with the Wind Ranger going off lane with the Beastmaster. Mid's going to be a Bloodseeker, Hybridin running on the mid Bloodseeker. Alt Che is going to be the Chikiro running top, supporting the Faceless Void. So, 2 melee carries, one being the Void. Again, I don't know if this is such a good idea with your Bloodseeker running mid. He's not going to be hitting a lot of stuff inside the Faceless Void's chrono. And your Wind Ranger is going to be going over to Boss 4 as where the Chikiro is going to be running the 5. So, it's quite an interesting setup here. But I do like the 2-1-2 lane. Because I don't know if you've seen as of late, 2-1-2 lanes do actually nullify. If they do play it properly, they actually nullify an aggressive run.
We've got an
and
actual
as we're saying that,
stun
we
up
do
here.
see them going on bot.
No, Wind Ranger running into a bit of trouble there. Zero Maestro, he's just throwing some wild axes there, trying to get rid of them. But yeah, they are still there, harassing quite a bit. Fluffy Smurf needs to be careful. We've only got the Wind Run on the Wind Ranger, so there's no threat there in terms of the Shackle Shot. But Faceless Void's going to be able to steal the rune.
Indeed, it seems like the Centaur backed off there a little bit. Scared that the two of them might rotate onto him straight away, not knowing what the Faceless Void picked up as his first ability. But down below, Sand King just making sure that they're getting those first 2 bounty runes, evening it out. And as well as the Sand King taking a bit of a rest there. He's been forced to use 2 tangos.
Most definitely. Now, looking at the current lineups, we do have the Centaur Warrunner that is going to go towards the top lane. And that is basically just to ensure that he's going to try and reach level 6 as quick as possible, which will be the Stampede. That is going to allow the golems from Warlock, when he eventually reaches level 6, that chaotic offering, to pop down. He's got the upheaval as well, so you can just imagine the amount of movement speed that the side of EPOCH will have in terms of that sort of team fight.
Oh, no, definitely. If they do drop down both those abilities. Sorry, I'm getting a whisper here from somebody. No sound in game. Let me just quickly find out here.
Now I think your chat is set to party and not team.
Okay, maybe I should just change that. That could be the right one here. Will you be... Maybe there's in-game sound now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, he does have that now. Wonderful. Okay, now they're saying there is sound from my side as well, so that was my mistake as well. Sorry.
That's perfect.
The sound is on my. The sound is currently on my Twitch channel as well, so that I do know is up and running. I've been taking a break, so I know my settings aren't 100% right. I had to write some exams, so coming back now, a little bit of a shocker here to find out my settings have all been rearranged. But yes, as you said, the Golem ulti dropping down, Centaur Warrunner running over them, and an upheaval coming out is going to be quite devastating. But I don't believe we're going to see an upheaval early on in the game. Round about maybe level 9, 11, somewhere there, when there's going to be huge team fights. In In the beginning, I believe Fatal Bonds is going to be a huge pickup, as well as the Shadow Word, just for lane sustain and harass as well.
Yes, I agree. With the Bloodseeker going mid, I mean, he does have the Blood Rage. So, I mean, the only thing he really needs to focus on is getting those last hits. And that's going to basically keep him alive. Especially with the Storm Spirit and the Static Remnants. So, possibly Storm going up against the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker might possibly even win the lane. Just because of the fact he's going to be able to regen the entire time. But Storm Spirit definitely needs to focus on keeping him away from the creeps, getting those denies in, and that could possibly throw the lane in his favor again.
No, I do agree with you on that, especially seeing as the Storm Spirit does have the range advantage. But again, that Blood Rage is such a nice little spell early on. You'll see that, as you can see, as you said earlier, just last hitting the creeps is going to keep your HP up. Denying in as well is going to be absolutely amazing. Just the lane sustain being a massive. Now, we do need to, like I said, the Storm Spirit has to have an early nice start. He needs to snowball throughout the game. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen that he's going to have any nice, decent impact later on. And because the Bloodseeker has such a large amount of extra damage from that Blood Rage, like a 25% increase on the damage, it means that he can last hit so easily. But again, you have to remember that he also does take extra damage.
No, definitely he has to play very careful, and he has to definitely, as much as possible, focus on those last hits. That is going to keep him alive. At the top lane, though, we do have a Llama Boy who is taking damage, mainly from the Jakiro, who is harassing him quite a lot. And at the bottom lane, we do have the Beastmaster, who is suffering quite a bit. But the threat of the Wind Ranger is there, so they need to be very, very careful. And they definitely are aware that the Shackle Shot could potentially come out as well. Sun going onto the Wind Ranger, quickly running into that Wind Run, and he's just going to back away.
As you can see from early on pickup, he has picked up Wind Run first, and he hasn't gotten level 2 yet. So there's no threat from a Shackle Shot early on as of yet. But again, he is there to assist in some sort. Wind Run is not only for you to get away, but it also gives enemies slow percentage. So level 1, 15% slow might just be enough to get yourself or your teammate out of trouble. And then the other thing that people have to remember as well with the Bloodseeker is it doesn't really matter where you're sitting on the map. If the enemy heroes are below a certain percentage of HP, you will be picking up damage from Thirst. Now, the HP threshold is going to be 75%. So anything lower than 75%, you start giving him attack speed, attack damage, as well as movement speed. So the lane mid, it's going to be so hard for the Storm Spirit. As you can see, he's currently sitting behind. He's only got 4 last hits, as where the Bloodseeker is sitting at 14 for 7.
No, definitely. Also, in terms of the Storm Spirit, his mana is depleting insanely fast. I mean, he can't keep up. Just using that Static Remnant is actually causing him more harm than good.
No, it's definitely so, but you do need to drop the Static Remnant to get your proc off the overload. And unfortunately, like I said, the Bloodseeker sitting mid, he's getting 19 extra damage currently just from his teammates harassing the other heroes. And you're seeing here, like at the top side, Llama Boy is sitting at just less than half his HP. As well, bottom Phantom Loss is also dropping below 75%. So again, low HP means more damage for the Bloodseeker, means more movement speed, which means they can just run up to the Storm Spirit, harass him by right-clicking him a few times, and then going straight back out. It do seems we do have an apology coming out there. Some of the people on the side of Kai Gaming seems to be having a little bit of lag.
At least tonight I don't have any packet loss. I think it was last night when I tried to do a cast and it was absolutely horrible. So yeah, I'm trying to... Everything looks perfectly fine though. I'm not having any spikes, anything to that effect, so that's good, I hope. But we'll see how the stream goes afterwards when I watch the stream afterwards.
Yeah, it does seem like you are doing fine at the moment. Here and there, sounds like maybe your pickup is not completely 100%. So it does sound like every now and then in the middle of a sentence it does cut out a little bit. But it's nothing too bad. I don't know if it's going to be your internet or actually just the voice threshold that's set a little bit too low.
I'm not sure, but we do have an engagement here now on to Zero Maestro. He is being attacked here by the Sand King as well as the Phantom Lancer. Is he going to be able to get the kill? Yes, First Blood going there to a 13, who you said was Rabbit.
That is correct, yes. First Blood going towards Rabbit. He did put a nice little level into this Phantom Lance, and he actually used the Mango to get off the last Lance to get that last hit. Now, the main thing, if you had a look at that little engagement at the bottom, Sand King had a little stun. He actually leveled his Caustic Finale, and as he stunned as well, he made sure he stuns right behind the hero so that he is able to body block as well and ensure that the other heroes can actually follow up and get some more damage onto the hero, which then eventually led to the kill as well.
That was very well coordinated there by them, and unfortunately Beastmaster paid the price there, overextended quite a bit. Wind Ranger wasn't anywhere nearby to try and help, but he does have one level of Shackle Shot now. He's got the Sentry Wards up, or the Observer Wards rather. And there's one Observer Ward right.
Yes, I do see a lot of aggressive yeah, there is a lot of aggressive warding coming out from the side of Kai Gaming. They have dropped down an Observer Ward in the jungle right below the bottom rune, as well as another Observer right beneath the Sentry from the side of EPOCH. Now, if they actually move up, they'll be able to see that ward and de-ward it, so it's going to be a bit of a wasted ward. We do see there's a Shackle Shot onto the Phantom Lancer, but not much going to happen there.
Yeah, got a bit excited there for a second, but we do have the Warlock there. He had the Shadow Word on cooldown though, so he wasn't really able to do much in that effect. I mean, it's a cooldown of 16 seconds, but we might have an engagement here now, and that's a beautifully stole there by the Wind Ranger, going in once again for the body block, and Wind Ranger trying to run away as much as he can, 4 seconds before the next stun becomes available. But this could potentially be, is he going to go down? He's taking a lot of damage from that heal. Yes, heal going there to Fluffy Smith, and that's also the Caustic Finale that helped to get that kill. Smoke up coming through. Oh, look at that beautiful stun. But now Hybriding, he's in a lot of trouble also. He's being damaged by Warlock. Is he going to go down? It does seem like it, yes, and Charles manages to get the kill.
Yeah, as we can see here from the combination from the Warlock and the Sand King, as you can see, there's actually 2 levels into the Caustic Finale, which means that it's going to be 130 damage if a creep dies, but also the explosion damage timer is going to be 50. Now, the explosion timer is 6 seconds, which means that you do have 6 seconds to run away before you get slowed and do take a little bit of damage. Now, the problem as well is the Shadow Word coming out from the Warlock every time after that. Just means there's a nice amount of current dot damage, so that means that they do have a lot of nice damage. But at the bottom they do seem to try and go on the PL, which is just going to run away, and he's having no problems thus far. Now the rotation on mid was actually quite nice as well, seeing as the Bloodseeker did rupture the Storm Spirit, tried to dive him underneath the tower, but the Sand King just had a nice little TP in, stunned up the Bloodseeker, and actually gave enough time for the Warlock to rotate into mid as well and get that last word off. So that's how they got the kill onto the Bloodseeker.
It was a beautiful play there by them, but at the same time, at the top, Llama Boy was in a bit of trouble. He had to TP out though, and Void unfortunately was not able to get the bash or the time lock onto Centaur, and he was able to TP away safely, but back into the lane again. But at bot now we've got beautiful engagement here, and that's Phantom Lancer that's going to go down. Warlock as well, beautiful double kill going there to Hybriding. And that's a triple kill actually, and unfortunately that's 3 heroes down in less than 2 seconds, and beautiful rotation coming out there from Hybriding.
That was a nice little rotation from the mid going towards bot, seeing as they're always sitting at a little bit less than full HP. Again, the Bloodseeker just picking up a lot of damage, a lot of extra movement speed as soon as heroes start running below 75% HP. And again, they just followed that up quite nicely, picked them off. But then in the in the same time as well, the Sand King managed to get out a little bit of a small stun there, just enough for the proc from the Warlock to get the kill. And at the top, I actually missed that, where the Faceless Void and the Jakiro came together to get a kill quickly onto the Centaur.
Yeah, it was Jakiro unfortunately didn't really get to do much. He didn't do any damage to the Centaur, but that was the Faceless Void who quickly time walked in, popped a quick Chronosphere, and was easily able to take down the Centaur. But now in the mid lane we've got the Wind Ranger going up towards the Storm Spirit. He is invis, he is not detected at all. Hybriding, is he going to go for it? Beautiful Shackle, that is also silence coming through, but yeah, Storm Spirit quickly jumps out of that one. But he needs to be very, very careful. The Rupture is active. Nice stun coming out there from Fluffy Smurf. Hybriding, he's finding himself now in a bad situation. Fluffy Smurf, and quickly just throws out a power shot to try and reveal Fluffy Smurf. Hybriding still out there trying to do as much damage as possible just to regen up as well. But could this be a potential kill coming in the mid lane? They're trying to bait it out. But yeah, Bloodseeker is not taking the bait.
No, unfortunately nothing much happening on the mid lane. Again, as you can see, the Bloodseeker, as he was running there, the fight was happening. The Sand King dropped a little bit low. The Storm Spirit was low on HP as well. And the Bloodseeker had about 700 movement speed. He was just running up and down absolutely so fast. We do see a Shackle shot coming out. It did land, but unfortunately not long enough for the Bloodseeker to drop his Blood Rite. And in the meantime, while we were watching mid, there was a kill that happened on top onto the Centaur, where they did pick him up, pick him off again in between the trees. But again, they are going on bot. Don't know if they will be able to catch the Beastmaster. He does use his TP. He's going to get out. Unfortunately, not enough damage there.
Yeah, it's just I think this game pretty much is going to come down to who wants it the most. I mean, this Bloodseeker is doing exceptionally well. Very well, actually. I mean, he's 2 levels up on the Storm Spirit.
And like I said in the beginning, it is all about the Bloodseeker getting extra damage. He has that large amount of movement speed thanks to the other heroes. There is a Centaur ulti going up top. Centaur does decide to go onto the Jakiro. The Jakiro gets stunned with a nice double edge, but both stuns have been blown, so they won't be able to stop the TP. Does get TP out just in time, and even with the proc from the Caustic Finale, it wasn't enough to kill him.
Yeah, he managed to escape that one pretty well. But Storm Spirit, he's been ruptured up. He's going to try and stand still right under that tower. Very good decision there by him. And denying Hybriding a much needed kill just to advance even further. And yeah, I mean, Phantom Lancer still only level 7, whereas the Void now is level 10.
No, definitely. Again, it's all coming down to the Bloodseeker winning the mid lane, just because that his teammates are making sure that EPOCH is sitting at below 75%. Means he has so much extra movement speed. As I'm saying that, they are going on mid, but the Jakiro is there to block off, and the Sand King actually just dodges the Blood Rite.
Yeah, they need to play very, very careful. I mean, Sand King is sitting just outside of range of that Sentry Ward. I'm not sure if he's aware that it's there, but he needs to be very careful. Oh, another engagement there going on to...
He was chased around.
It was an engagement there onto the Centaur, who went down once again. Hybriding managing to get another kill there on the Phantom Lancer.
Yes, indeed. The Bloodseeker rotated bot after there was a bit of a scuffle there, as well as the Phantom Lancer just pushing a little bit too far to try and kill off the Beastmaster, which he did. But again, it gave a nice bit of money towards the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker has picked up his Hood of Defiance. In the meantime, we do see the Warlock picking up the haste there, stealing it, and just running away quite speedy. And then we do have the Bloodseeker following up, trying to catch the Sand King. Again, low HP. The Sand King, is he going to get it? No, he's standing there, he's taking the hits. It's going to be 3 heroes straight onto the Bloodseeker, and there's an upheaval as well. But the Shackle shot is straight onto the Sand King. It actually blocks him off. Are they going to be able... No, they decide they're going to back off here. That Bloodseeker is just a little bit too tanky with the Hood. Unfortunately, they can't really do much with him, seeing as everybody early on is magic damage. And unfortunately, the the Centaur has had a bit of unluck with the top side, where the Void has picked up a Mask of Madness, and he's just been able to get a few nice bashes onto the Centaur Warrunner and just killing him off every time thus far. If we do have a look at the kills, currently sitting on the Faceless Void, he's sitting at 3 for 0, and he's sitting at level 12. He's 4 levels above the highest heroes on the side of EPOCH. So he's having a magnificent.
No, unfortunately the Sand King actually sandstormed right under a Sentry Ward, and that's going to be another double kill going there to Hybreeding. He's playing exceptionally well, and not to forget that Jakiro with his supporting, especially with the Ice Bath, absolutely perfect.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Indeed, it has been, their setup has been very, very nice. Again, it all comes down to the amount of damage the Bloodseeker can put up with Thirst, and having picked up a hood early on, there's not much that they can do. I mean, look at that, one hit is like 140 damage. 140 damage straight onto the Sand King. He's only got 3 armor. 3 hits from that, he's below 75%, and the Bloodseeker can just run him down. And unfortunately, again, the Storm Spirit is having such a bad start that he can't really do anything early on.
The beautiful Ice Bath as well as the Macro Fire coming through there from the Jakiro. The Storm Spirit is suffering quite a bit. And Bloodseekers are definitely making sure of that. I mean, every time he sees the Storm Spirit, he does go out with a Rupture, which makes it almost impossible for Storm Spirit to try and get away. And even with the Jakiro there and that Ice Bath, it makes it extremely difficult. But now looking at the bottom lane, we do have Phantom Lancer. He's in a bit of trouble. He needs to get out of that situation. Hybring is there, popping out another Blood Right. And it seems that they're going to try and push this lane. We do have help being called in there from the Warlock, who pings it down there, taking or trying to take out the tower. Warlock is on his way. He does have the golems up. Centaur does have the Stampede as well. But now we've got Faceless Void sitting on the side. He is invisible. He's got that Shadow Blade up. We do have a TP coming in there from the Centaur as well. Fluffy Smurf moving into position. Llama Boy, they are all caught into that one. Beautiful play there from them. That is Sand King that's going to go down first. Now Tar, he drops down that golem, but Llama Boy himself does try to get the Stampede, which he does manage to do, but he is going to die for that one. Void's just going to quickly time walk out of that one, but now Rabbit, he's in a world of trouble. He has to double walk out of that one. He is ruptured as well. He does land. Oh, unfortunately, he is going to go down. And Kai is literally starting to walk all over the side of EPOCH. And could this potentially be the beginning of the end?
To be honest with you, the plays there was actually quite nice. The Chrono came straight over the tower. Unfortunately, Centaur doesn't have a blink yet. He doesn't have a lot of items, seeing as his lane was absolutely terrible early on. There was no rotations onto the top lane. The Faceless Void was not pushed out of the lane, so he had a bit of free farm. He picked up himself a little Shadow Blade there as well. And all of those plays coming together, just allowing them to pick them all off, seeing as, again, the Bloodseeker running around with so much damage, so much movement speed, just being able to silence up all the heroes with a nice little Chrono landing. And again, he didn't need to be inside the Chrono to actually do a lot of damage, seeing as, like I said earlier on, I did think that it was a bit of counterproductive as the two heroes playing both melee carries trying to run into a Chrono, but they have been executing it quite nicely. And as I'm saying that they are going onto the Jakiro top, he might be the one going down here if they do not get a Centaur stun off. No, unfortunately, it does die to the Phantom Lancer. But while everything was happening bot with a 4-man rotation bot where they took the tower, they got the bunch of kills, the Jakiro was sitting mid, getting some experience and getting some farm as well, as where the Storm Spirit was sitting mid, trying to pick up some farm as well, because he is so far behind at the moment. But there they do go onto the Bloodseeker. Are they going to be able to catch him? They do get a nice little stun. If there's a Blood Ride coming out, it's going to be a shackle shot, but it's not going to latch. They do go straight onto it. But again, the Sand King just getting hit, slapped up there. He's got no damage. And then the Storm Spirits get ruptured. He can't go anywhere now. Even with his ult, he's got no mana. And unfortunately, double kill yet again towards the side of the Bloodseeker. So even a gank, 3-man gank on him is not able to kill off the Bloodseeker. And this is very terrible news for the side of EPOCH.
I mean, the Bloodseeker is playing exceptional tonight. I don't think he's died once, though. I doubt that very much. Yeah,
No,
I
he
don't
has
think he's
actually
actually
died
died.
off once when they killed him at. No, he did die once when
Yeah,
the
once.
warlock got the kill on him with the shadow word. Now, yeah, like I said, like you said, the Bloodseeker's been playing absolutely well, and the main thing again is that Hood of Defiance is so amazing early on against all of this magic damage, and the PL is just not there with right clicks at the moment.
No, I mean the only thing that Phantom Lancer can really try and do now is to try and pick up a Radiance and split push out the lanes. But I mean this Bloodseeker is so quick to rotate, and not only that, the Faceless Void as well, doing very well to get those rotations up. He does have the Shadow Blade as well as the Mask of Madness, just to try and help with the Chronosphere and to try and beat them down as much as possible.
Indeed, he has picked up the Shadow Blade, as where it is a nice little damage item, a bit of attack speed. It gives you the ability to escape beyond your time walk, especially when you've just Mask of Madness, and it also gives you a nice initiation tool because they do not have a lot of sentry wards up on the map at the moment. It allows the Faceless Void just to run in inverse, scout out a little bit, and then just pick the right spot to chrono, and as he gets the right chrono, it's all over for them. And as I'm saying that, we do see there's a 5-man smoke in the side of Kai Gaming, all of them running in. They do have nice bit of vision here in the side of the Sentinel, so they're going to be seeing if they can pick up a Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, it definitely seems they're going to run into him, but a quick double ganger. He is going to run like hell to try and get out of that one, but have they spotted out the Sand King? No, he's going to move just to the tree line on the side to try and avoid detection, and he does very well in that regard. But he needs to be careful. He needs to stay there. If he moves towards that shrine, he could possibly find himself in a difficult situation.
Indeed, the warding from the side of Kai Gaming has been absolutely brilliant. We do have to see the Sand King is starting to go straight onto the Wind Ranger. There's a macro fire, and oh, look at that one shot, the first shot bash, and the amount of damage just breaks down that poor Sand King. And they are forced to use the center ulti to try and get everybody out. And this might be a tier 2 bot going down.
I mean, all credit going to the Void, the Bloodseeker, and especially the twin-headed dragon. I mean, their synchronization is absolutely perfect.
I totally agree with you on that. I mean, it seems like they have practiced this a few times. Everything so far has been absolutely amazing. There's been no overlaps of any problems, of any abilities. There hasn't been a time where the Faceless Void has actually thrown at the Bloodseeker, and RNG seems to be on the side of the Faceless Void as well, seeing as he does get a few nice bashes in a row, as well as a first shot bash that actually led to the kill earlier on.
I also noticed that the Warlock has skilled up 150 cast range. So, I mean, he's just going to try and sit on the back lines, get those fatal bonds through, pop in the golem, help with the upheaval. I mean, he's also picked up the infused raindrops to try and avoid most of the damage coming out there from the Jakiro. But, I mean, is that really going to be enough? Is that going to keep them into the game?
To be honest with you, currently they are sitting at 13k deficit, as Kai Gaming is currently on the lead. But as I'm saying that, we do see a Faceless Void running into the bot. He's going to be able to catch 2 heroes here if he gets a nice chrono off. He's going to go straight onto the Centaur. Centaur gets a stun. He does decide to use the Mask of Madness. And unfortunately, no kills coming out, but they did force out the ulti from the Centaur. Now, as for your question, I don't believe it's going to be enough to keep them in the game. They have to... The nice talent pickup from the Warlock, the 150 cast range is amazing. If he does get a nice little Fatal Bonds with a nice Centaur Stomp and a Chaotic offering, this game might turn. But at the moment, it just seems to be Kai Gaming all around.
Yeah, the one thing that I do notice is that even the Phantom Lancer is scared to go close to the Faceless Void. And that mainly is just for that Chronosphere. If he gets locked down, it's going to be virtually impossible for him to escape. I mean, this Mask of Madness is doing so much damage. They've got a Maelstrom down as well. So, I mean, yeah, it's in a sense, splashing damage coming through. But yeah, it's just going to get rid of those images.
No, indeed. I mean, there is a Majolna currently sitting on the side of the Bloodseeker, which is absolutely amazing. And as you can remember with the recent buff changes to a Maelstrom and Majolna, the lightning procs cannot be evaded. So it is quite nice when the Phantom Lancer uses his doppelganger, and there's still a bit of lightning jumping around that can actually point out the right Phantom Lancer. And again, he can't really fight this early because he has no items at the moment. He's just been struggling to get farm as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, are they going to go in for an engagement? Centaur Warrunner is sitting on the front line. He is going to jump in. Beautiful ulti coming out as well. Warlock moves a bit too close. He gets stunned up there by the Beastmaster. Chronosphere going down, and that is going to be the Storm Spirit that is going to fall. Double kill going there to high breeding as he manages to take out Llama Boy and Fluffy Smurf. As well as the entire team managing to get down the Beastmaster, but high breeding is still going, and he's got a triple kill, and this is disastrous, an entire team wipe, and it's only 1 euro from the side of Kai that's actually gone down. They should be able to comfortably push this top lane and get that tier 3. They do have more than enough. Just look at that damage coming through onto the tower, but he does get glyphed up, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually stop them.
Now, the engagement from the side of EPOCH was absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, Storm Spirit rolled a little bit too far, got chronoed by the Faceless Void, and then, again, they did get the Aegis down, but also the hero just pops back up. They only got down on... There's another little storm coming through. As I'm saying, there's a reinitiation coming from the side of EPOCH. It seems like they're showing a bit of light, but they've got no vision for the Faceless Void. There's another Blood Rite coming out. The Storm Spirit just dodges it as well, so they will be able to pick up another 1 kill. Unfortunately, there's another Rupture coming through. The Storm jumps in, but again, there's just too much damage coming out from the Bloodseeker, and the stuns are amazing. The shackle shot was right on. Unfortunately, they did kill him. But are we going to see that the PL going to be picking up this Bloodseeker? No, he's got no damage. He only has the Diffusal, and unfortunately, the Bloodseeker is running around with no mana. So the damage is also just not there. They are chasing him into the base, and they'll be picking up him as well. The reinitiation was just chaos. It looked like an amazing fight there, but again, they didn't have all of their ultis. They didn't have anything ready. So it was just a huge amount of disappointment there. There is no right-click damage to deal with this Bloodseeker. Sting is sitting with the Hood of Defiance and another 300 HP talent, so 1.9k HP. There's a Sand King that decides he's going to ulti, jump in and stun. But again, look at those procs. Those procs are just hitting the Sand King while he's invis. So again, that's what I'm saying. This Majolna pickup is absolutely amazing.
The epicenter from the Sand King didn't really do any damage to Bloodseeker at all. I mean, he stood there, he tanked it up, he took the damage, and just continued on as usual.
Indeed, they do have a pipe on the Beastmaster as well as the Hood. Like I said, the Hood sitting on the Bloodseeker, just doing so much work this game for them. And again, unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like EPOCH is finding the opening, the small little window that they need to get off everything quite nicely. They did it earlier, but unfortunately the Storm rolled, like I said, rolled too far. He tried to go onto the Faceless Void instead of just killing off the other 2 heroes, and it just turned into disaster, because if you don't kill off that Bloodseeker and he gets 1 hero kill while he does have the Blood Rage on him, he's just going to be back to more than half HP, and he's going to be able to continue to fight.
Definitely, it's a hard road for EPOCH to actually climb. I did think since they had a better draft, but I mean, this Bloodseeker came out and completely surprised me with his mid capabilities, and he's doing very, very well. And yeah, big ups to Kai. It does seem that they might take game number 1, but it's not over yet. I mean, anything can happen. Just the wrong hero to die, and it could swing things in the favor of EPOCH.
No, I do agree with you. It is a bit of a harder mountain for them to climb, like you said. They do seem to be a little bit of a melee racks down. They still do have the ranged racks top. But again, the top lane is going to be pushing in. It's going to allow the side of Kai Gaming just to free farm into the jungle, as well as where EPOCH is currently struggling to find farm. And again, the Phantom Lancer just not doing enough right click damage to actually be any of a threat at the moment. He needs more items, he needs HP as well, and a Phantom Lancer pickup against a Bloodseeker is not all that amazing. Reason being is as soon as the Bloodseeker casts his ulti and drops a blood right, all he needs to do is right click. So you can burn away all of his mana and then not do any damage. Now you've got this diffusal, it's there for a little bit of slow, small amount of damage, but the mana burn damage is what you actually want it for. And unfortunately it's just not happening onto the Bloodseeker. So it's going to be hard to kill him off. And now he's also picked up a Sung and Yasha. So again, more movement speed, more damage, and just the ability to survive through most of the nuking. It's going to be next to impossible to bring down this Bloodseeker at the moment.
Yeah, most definitely. It does seem that we do have a wraparound coming through. The smoke has been taken away. Wind Ranger trying to run out of that one. A Beastmaster with a Wild Axis. Beautiful little golem coming out there. But the Chronosphere is there. Just look at the damage coming through there. Double kill going there to the Void. And hybriding another kill going in his favor. But now we've got the Storm Spirit trying to run away. He is going to manage to do that. They should now be able to push towards this bottom tier 3. They've got only 2 heroes to contend with. And at the moment, Storm Spirit and the Centaur Warrunner is no threat to them at all. They should be able to do this quite comfortably. And just look at the damage coming out. The Shrine Protection coming through again. That's the Glyph Fortification. And easily they do what they want.
There is a nice initiation coming from the side of EPOCH yet again, but again, the shackle shots just landing properly, disabling the right heroes there, and they can't do much. They can't really fight back, seeing as they're this far back, and the heroes just don't have the items. The whole fight in the Sentinels, basically in the jungle, went sour because there was no Centaur. There was a bit of miscommunication. It seems the Centaur was trying to farm up his blade mail as he queued it up, or try at least to get his buyback ready, and the rest of the team decided to initiate onto a team that's much stronger than them. That led to 3 kills, and then also again a pushing of the bot rack. So now they are basically 2 racks down and 30k behind, and the Centaur is a bit out of place. He does use his blade mail and he is being ruptured, but again it's not doing enough damage. There's just nothing from the side of EPOCH at the moment that can burst down the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, the Bloodseeker definitely dominated that mid lane. He played exceptionally well. I mean, there's not much more that you can say in that regard. But they're walking all over EPOCH.
Again, his team did so much for him. Yeah, I do agree with you 100%. He did so well mid. But again, his team also did so much for him. With him just getting that extra damage from Thirst allowed him to secure the last hit, secure the denies, and just deny the Storm from getting anything. And in the meantime, they do pick up the Sand King again. And there's a nice little roar onto another Chrono, onto the Storm Spirit. He's just dead, he can't do much. He's brought back, that's 3 racks down. Now Kai Gaming, are they going to stay or are they going to fall back a little bit? Seems that they are all grouping up to take the top racks. There's going to be 3 racks. There's a nice jump. It's going to be a completely miss. But in the meantime, the Storm Spirit takes 3 hits. He's almost dead. They do pick off the Warlock. There's no ulti from the Warlock coming out. And Llama Boy is just standing there. He's not going to be able to do anything. And GG is called. Unfortunately, seems like a solid game from the side of Kai Gaming game 1. And it does go to their side as a loss goes over to the side of EPOCH.
Most definitely, and that is game number 1 going in the favor of Kai Gaming. And yeah, they played exceptionally well. I cannot wait for game number 2 and to see how that one's going to go. And I think we're just going to take a very short break, and we'll be back right after the sponsor ads, etc. So I'll see you guys shortly in game number 2.
Besige fucking game. Genade. Okay, ek gaan gou badkamer toe. Bye.